If you like to make your NFL games a little bit more interesting, you've come to the right place. It's the Even Money Podcast with Ross Tucker and Steve Fezzik.
Yeah, Vegas, baby, Vegas. It is the Even Money Betting Podcast for Week 2 in the National Football League. Got to say, it feels good to have a winning Week 1. We will get into that momentarily, as we always do. As far as I know, we are one of the only, if the only, betting podcast that actually reviews how we did the week before so that we can see what lessons we learned, and also you can check our work. You can check how we're doing. So we'll get to that momentarily. Then we got a bunch of bets for you here in Week 2 and a couple of questions, by the way, where we need your feedback. So you can email me, ross@rosstucker.com. Those of you that are already patrons on our private Tuckhead Slack channel, patreon.com/RTmedia. I want your feedback there as well. Or just hit us up on social media at Ross Tucker NFL, at Fezzik Sports, at Ross Tucker Pod, because we've got two questions for you as it relates to how we handle a couple things on the show moving forward with teasers and how we're graded. He's the star of the show at Fezzik Sports. I've lost track of how many public contests he has cashed big money in, including winning the Super Contest at the Westgate twice, back-to-back years actually, which is remarkable. But all the second place and fourth place, those things really add up. Let me know how many other people you are aware of that have that documented track record as my guy Steve Fezzik, who you can follow at Fezzik Sports and only at Fezzik Sports. I'm Ross Tucker, the former NFL offensive lineman, 5 teams, 7 years. I called games on the radio for Westwood One. None of those this week, actually. But then I do also call games for CBS. I do have a good one. I'm excited about it. Browns at Ravens for CBS Sunday, 1 o'clock. Those of you can watch it or check it out on the Red Zone channel. Somehow they both lost by a point. Somehow they both had a kicker miss an extra point. Just absolutely maddening. As a reminder, we are going to go ahead and have that extra episode every week where we get into the line moves, as well as the props, as well as the parlays that we suggest, and Dr. Chow from sportsinjurycentral.com, which, by the way, today's episode is presented by SixScore.com. In the NFL, injuries mean everything. Sports Injury Central is the place to go for expert insights and injury-based projections. They have a 56.5% win rate since they've been doing this, just based on the injuries. Incredible. It is SixScore.com. All right, Steve. For the week, I was up 3 units. Would have been 5 if it weren't for the Bears last night. And you were down 2 units. We did do, I did especially well 3-1 on the leans. You were more like 500 on the leans. We started with the Cowboys and the Eagles. We both leaned to the Cowboys. They certainly kept it very, very close in that one. Probably should have won the game with the CeeDee Lamb drops, but it was only a lean. Our first bet was a best bet. We both liked the Chiefs laying the points against the Chargers. Man, we were wrong. Chargers dominated the game. Chargers won the game outright. We each lost 2 units there, Steve.
Might be the year the Chiefs don't win the division, Ross. Coming back from Antarctica or wherever they played that game down in South America. Tough spot coming up this week for Kansas City. Yes.
You're right about that. And now, not only is Rashee Rice suspended for 6 games, but now Xavier Worthy, we'll talk to Dr. Chow about this on Thursday, dislocated shoulder. I'm not expecting him over the next few weeks. Even when he does play, he's got a harness on it. So Xavier Worthy, very interesting. Giants Commanders was just a bad bet by me. I took the Giants getting the 5.5 against the Commanders, and they lost 21-6. You leaned Giants, Steve. They just have no offense still.
I was bullish on the Giants and the Titans, and that's why you have to check your ego at the door and make major adjustments. Both teams no shows week 1.
Bengals, Browns. I leaned to the Bengals laying the 5.5. You leaned to the Browns. That was the right side. Browns were the better team in that game, but they weren't able to close it out. Jets, Steelers. You leaned to the Jets, Steve, getting the 3 points, and they covered. They only lose by 2 to the Steelers.
Should have won. Fumbled kickoff was the difference in the game. And, hey, who would have expected the Jets quarterback Fields would have played such a great game?
Cardinals, Saints. You leaned Saints getting the 6.5. That was probably the right side. I mean, they were right there the whole game with the Cardinals. That was a close game. That's the one I did for CBS. Bucks, Falcons. I leaned to laying the 2.5 with the Bucks. You took the 2.5 with the Falcons. Tough one. That was actually a 2-unit bet for you, Steve.
Yeah, 50-50 back and forth. Atlanta won the stats, but the eye test said Tampa had more opportunities. I mean, Penix with 2 miracle 4th down conversions on that final game-winning drive that turned into a game-losing drive. Could have gone either way.
Dolphins, Colts. I put 2 units on the Colts. I am a believer. They were laying a 1.5. They blew out the Dolphins. Panthers, Jags. You know I love getting 3.5. Well, the Panthers, you talked about it. They were a no-show against the Jags. You leaned Panthers. That was bad. That was really, really bad. Raiders, Patriots. I leaned to the Raiders getting the 2.5. You had no play. They won the game outright. Titans, Broncos, we had nothing. Niners, Seahawks. I took the Niners getting 2.5. You leaned Seahawks. Or no, were the Niners the favorites?
Yeah, Niners were laying the 2.5, yes.
Okay, Niners were laying the 2.5. They end up winning the game by 4. I got 2 units there, Steve. You lean Seahawks.
And game could have gone either way, back and forth. You know, these coaches in the NFL just, they're too wussy. Game's tied, and as soon as Seattle settles for a field goal, you knew what was going to happen, right? When in doubt, 4th and short, go for it with the tie game.
Packers, Lions. Packers were laying 2.5. I thought they'd get a big boost from the Micah Parsons arrival. They did. They won the game 27-13. Lions didn't score a touchdown until there were less than 2 minutes left. You leaned Lions. One of our best bets, Steve, that hit was the under in the Rams-Texans. The total was 43.5, Steve. You said, I think maybe you called the Rams and Texans dead nut under teams. 14-9. 23 points. We won by 20 points on a 2-unit under bet.
Yeah, Houston dead nut under team, and the Rams were an under team last to start the season because of the Stafford rust. Going forward, I think you can play every Houston game under. Maybe with the Rams with their O-line injuries, we'll see.
Then we go another best bet. We both like the Ravens. How about this, Steve? We both got the Ravens last Tuesday morning when they were getting a 1.5. Did it close where the Ravens were favored by a 1.5?
Exactly, and even those meaningless points on 1, 5, 9, maybe not 9, but you get the idea. They all matter. They all are significant. Go back at the end of the year, write down every bet you make over the course of a year, and give yourself 1 extra point. You'll turn from a losing year into a solidly profitable year. Most people will.
And then last night we had another best bet, Vikings, Bears. We both liked the Bears getting the 1.5 at home. Did that line end up flipping too?
It went back.
The Bears ended up being favored.
It went back and forth. The market couldn't decide who should be favored. The Vikings ultimately wound up going off as a 1-point favorite.
Yep. Well, we put a unit on the Bears, and we lost that one. By the way, we'll talk about this on Thursday's show. But Steve was 2-0 on his props. He had Matthew Stafford under 122.5 yards. in the first half. He had Josh Allen under 116.5 yards in the first half. So those were both minus 110 bets. So terrific job by Steve on both those props. That's why you need to listen or watch youtube.com/Ross Tucker NFL to the second episode every week. So for the week, Steve, I was up 3 units. For the non-prop bets, you were down 2. We got to figure this out, though. We are going to give out teaser legs. And as we're giving out teaser legs, at least I am, you guys need to let us know, do you want us to continue to try to do the grading based on units, which is what we've always done because so many states were getting legalized and we wanted to simplify it? Or do you want us to switch and just grade straight based on the VIG, which our guy Sean Grady can do? I gave you all the email addresses, all the patreon.com/RT Media, the Twitter, everything. We need your feedback. We're going to give you teaser legs because a lot of you said you can get them for minus 120 or minus 125. Let us know how you want us to be graded on those and how you want us to do the grading moving forward now that we're doing prop bets. Steve, we move on. More great stuff right after this. I hope you guys like free money as much as I do, because that's what I'm giving you from my friends at westshorehome.com/Ross. Listen, they are the experts when it comes to bathroom remodeling, new windows, new doors, even flooring projects now. Everyone they use, highly trained employee installers. And right now, you can do what I've done before. Buy a full bath remodel, get a shower replaced in another bathroom free. Or you can buy a house full of windows, get a new entry door free. 12 months, no payments, no interest. Get an exclusive discount of $500 by going to westshorehome.com/Ross. That's $500, westshorehome.com/Ross. See my website for details. Bills Ravens on Sunday night. Obviously, going into the week was the game of the weekend in the NFL. And when I think Buffalo, I think Labatt. I think buy beer, get gear. I think rewards.labattusa.com to sign up. I actually think this whole program, buy beer, get gear, is genius. Most people are already taking and drinking Labatt. Just make sure you take a photo of your receipt. Then you get incredible merch. It's buy beer, get gear, rewards.labattusa.com. Commanders, Packers. It is Thursday night. The Commanders are on the road at Green Bay. They're getting 3.5.
Yeah, and I lean to Washington plus the 3.5. I'm not going to give it out as a play. Hey, controversy here. During the summer, Ross, multiple times, I said this specific game, look ahead, lay 1.5 on Green Bay and lay -2 on Green Bay. You should grade me. I made it very clear it was a great bet. You should grade me on Green Bay -2 on this game. I make it -3.25. At the current number, I would actually lean back on Washington.
Yep, I'm putting 2 units on Washington. I do not think that the Packers are as good as they showed on Sunday, although I have them number 1 in the Ross Tucker Podcast Power Rankings today. I think this is a close game, and I love getting 3.5 when I think it's going to be a close game. 2 units on Washington. Giants are playing the Cowboys. Giants are getting 6 points. I should have mentioned the Commanders-Packers total, 48.5. That seems high, by the way. Giants-Cowboys. The Giants are getting 6. Totals 44.5. Steve, I got nothing.
Going back, put me down for a unit on the under on Thursday night, under 48.5. I agree. It looks high to me. So put me down for an official play on that. With the Giants, I get it. The Cowboys look great. The Giants look terrible. I'm going to lean to the Giants. By the way, there's a trend you need to be aware of. If you start the NFL year 0-1 straight up and you're playing a team that's fat and happy, 1-0 straight up, if you did nothing but bet the 0-1 team, whether they're dog or favorite, go back 20 years, you're 54-40 against the spread, and this makes sense. No NFL team wants to start the year 0-2, so it's a fully focused locker room for week 2. And so the Giants obviously qualified, but the Cowboys have rest advantage, just a lean Giants.
Yep. Bills, Jets. Bills are laying 7, totals 45.5. Again, I got nothing.
Oh, I want the Jets. The Jets' phony loss. They outplayed Pittsburgh. The Bills tear down the goalposts. Miracle win. This is going to be a competitive game, Ross. Jets +7. You know what? It's early in the year. I'll go 2 units.
Wow. Love it. 2 units by Steve on the Jets. I will just lean to the Jets. I need to see more before I show a lot of faith in those guys. I will say this. I wrote it down. I forgot to say it. I'm with Steve on the under 48.5 for Washington, Green Bay. Steve went 1 unit. I'll go 2 units, but it's a best bet. So I've got Washington plus the 3.5 and Washington, Green Bay under the 48.5. What about Niners, Saints? The Niners are laying 4.5 on the road. Totals 41.5. Niners already beat up. Kittle's out. We don't know about Jennings. Purdy, I expect to play, but he's got a couple injuries.
Well, if Purdy plays, the Niners are ultra cheap here. Think about this. Arizona was laying 6.5, and the Niners are better than Arizona, a lot better. And, well, maybe just a little better. And now it's only -4.5, but I'm not sure Purdy's playing, so I'm passing.
I'm not sure Purdy's playing either. And I thought the Saints did some really good things. I'm going to show some faith in them. 1 unit on Spencer Rattler and the Saints at home against a beat-up Niners bunch. We'll learn more from Dr. Chow on Thursday's Even Money podcast. What about the Seahawks? They're getting 3 in Pittsburgh. Totals 39.5, low 39.5.
Well, I'm not sure at all that Pittsburgh's any better than Seattle, and Seattle's in that good situation. I know a lot of travel for Seattle, but they're the 0-1 team. Pittsburgh's the fat and happy 1-0 team. Someone's going to win by a field goal, and if that's the case, I'll be fine as long as I get the +3, 2 units Seattle.
Ooh, okay. What about the total going over? I mean, the Steelers' defense was not good. They scored a bunch of points. Any thoughts on the total, Steve?
I played under last week when it was 41.5. 41 such a key number, Ross. I'd lean over at 40.
Yeah, I'm going to lean over 39.5, and I'm going to lean Seattle getting the 3. If it was 3.5, I'd be all over it. Rams, Titans. The Titans are getting 5.5 at home. Totals 41.5.
The Rams are all banged up on the O-line, but the Titans were terrible. That was a misleading final. They were a complete and utter no-show. I'm still going to lean with the 0-1 team, just a lean for these Titans that look terrible.
Yep, I'm putting a unit on the Titans, plus 5.5. I think they'll be better. That was a bad spot. At Denver, the elevation. Titans defense is legit. I don't think the Rams score very much, so 5.5 is a pretty good feeling. How about my game? This surprised me, Steve. The Browns are getting 12.5. The total's 45.5.
And I make it 13.5. Baltimore continues to be an analytics darling, and I'll argue the stats are totally phony from the Buffalo game where Baltimore just played prevent defense and Buffalo got all those yards in the second half, and then Derrick Henry fumbles. That was remarkable that Baltimore found a way to lose that game. I got nothing. I pass.
That's too many points. I mean, and I wonder a little bit about the psyche of both these teams, but give me the Browns for 1 unit plus the 12.5. They look pretty darn good against the Bengals. 12.5 points. That's a lot in the NFL. Flacco gets you a backdoor cover potentially. So 12.5, 1 unit for the Cleveland Browns. What about the Jaguars getting 3.5 in Cincinnati against the Bengals? The total's 49.5, Steve.
So listen, if you watched that Bengal-Brown game, you'd be shocked how terrible the Bengals offense was. 8 yards in offense in the second half. Burrow and company could do nothing against that defense. Jacksonville coasted, didn't have to put forth much effort. I'm getting the Magic plus 3.5 in a game that should be 3 units. The Jaguars to keep it close.
Wow, 3 units. Okay, Steve doesn't do that very often, so make note of that. It is a best bet. I'm not going 3. I'll go 2 units. Jaguars look good. Bengals didn't. Maybe the Bengals win another close one, but I really like the Jags getting 3.5 points, feeling good about themselves right now. That is 2 units, and that is a best bet. What about the Bears coming off last night's loss? Now they go to Detroit, Steve, and they are getting 4.5, totals 47.5.
So Detroit may well be a go-against team without Ben Johnson the entire year. I don't know the Bears' mindset after they gave away the game. I certainly am going to. Let me see what I made this game. I made the game 5. I lean Bears.
Yep, 1 unit on the Bears for me, getting the 4.5. I think they'll be better. I think obviously Ben Johnson knows an awful lot about the Lions. I think that helps. And the Lions are kind of in a bad way right now. We'll see if they can bounce back. What about the Patriots? They're getting 1.5 at Miami. Totals 43.5.
So it would be easy to talk about the dysfunctionality of the Dolphins and all their problems, but I got to tell you, I want no business taking a team from the Northeast going to that heat and humidity where they got to be on the sideline and have the sun shining down on them the entire game. I actually lean Miami. Complete contrarian play. They were awful last week.
Wow. I like the Patriots as a teaser leg. I'm taking them up to 7.5. I have 4 teaser legs this week. We will determine exactly how we're going to treat that based upon your feedback. Remember, we want to know, do you want us to continue to go and get graded by units? Or do you want us to get into the VIG? And then at that point, we'll have to decide whether we still grade the teasers at minus 120. Minus 125 seems fair since there's at least one domestic legalized book that still has it at minus 125. Unfortunately, not our friends at DraftKings. So Patriots are a teaser leg up to 7.5 for me. What about the Panthers and the Cardinals? Panthers are getting 6.5 on the road. Totals 44.5.
Easy pass for me. Carolina looked really bad last week.
I don't have much to say here either. I got nothing, not even a lean. Denver against the Colts. Colts are at home getting 2.5. Totals 42.5. Love the Colts as a teaser leg up to 8.5 from the 2.5.
Ditto. Should be a really close game. Colts and teasers.
Eagles, Chiefs. Eagles are getting 1.5. Totals 46.5. I realize the Chiefs are already a little bit beat up, but I can get Patrick Mahomes and 7.5 points at home as a teaser leg. The Chiefs are my third teaser leg, taking them up to plus 7.5.
I will do the same with the Chiefs teasers. I am concerned an extra day of rest for Philly and Kansas City coming back from Brazil. I'll still do it. Mahomes should keep the game close.
Falcons against the Vikings. Falcons are getting 5.5. Totals 45.5, Steve.
I don't understand this line. My power ratings, this is the biggest disparity. Give me the Falcons for 2 units.
What's the disparity?
I make the game like 3, and I'm catching 5.5.
Wow. Love it. I'm with you. That's a 2-unit best bet, especially on a Monday night. Vikings on the road, big win. I'm with you. I've got the Falcons plus 5.5, 2 units. That's another best bet. What about the Bucs and the Texans? The Bucs are getting 2.5 on the road. It's Monday night. Totals 42.5. That is my last teaser leg of the week. I got the Bucs up to 8.5. Love that teaser. I mean, I love all 4 teasers. Like, I love teasers, but I love that teaser leg of the Bucs up to 8.5, Steve.
So I agree. The only concern is that Houston is the 0-1 desperate team, and the Bucs are 1-0. But the Bucs are better than Houston, so absolutely put me down for that teaser also.
Love it. And then the last but not least, Chargers are in Vegas against the Raiders. Totals 47.5. Raiders getting the 3.5. Steve, I'm putting 2 units on the Raiders. They look good. They have a competent quarterback. They're playing at home. I don't get the line.
Yeah, and the Raiders put up almost 400 yards of offense last week against a New England team that was supposed to be improved. I don't know who's going to win by field goal, and it does not matter. Raiders plus 3.5, 2 units.
Love it. Okay, so that's a bunch of bets for you guys. The 4 teaser legs, you can either round robin them or you can pick your spots. New England, Indy, Kansas City, Tampa Bay. As a reminder, this is super important. I know a lot of you write down the bets or you go back and watch it a second time. If you go to patreon.com/RTmedia and become a Tuckheads member, we got a private Slack channel where we all talk about football and betting and food and beer. But that's also where our Australian sensation grades posts our spreadsheet, which is even more valuable now that we're posting parlays and prop bets. It's less than $10 a month. It's the best $60 you'll spend for the season in your life, just saving yourself time. Patreon.com/RTmedia. We had a lot of bets this week. Hopefully you guys like that. Remember, Thursday, all kinds of good stuff. The line movement, Dr. Chow, our parlays of the week, our prop bets. Make sure you subscribe and you have notifications on for that second episode because Steve went 2 for 2 with his 2 props last week. Other than that, good luck, everybody. Hope you guys win some money.
Thanks for tuning in to Even Money. Make sure to also check out the Ross Tucker Football Podcast, Fantasy Feast, and College Draft, all on the DraftKings Network, YouTube, or subscribe to the podcast on your favorite platform.